I swear life is so funny sometimes, man. I waited like 3 whole days to talk about the Toyotarou panel and that alleged original manga everyone was panicking about him working on soon that he was supposed to speak about on July 6th at Japan Expo Paris. 3 days, bro. I was probably the last one to talk about it, and I even said in my last video I was waiting on another update or more concrete confirmation before I spoke on this situation, because some of the optics just didn't really make sense to me at first if this was supposedly a new original manga. And the day after I do speak on this, we get more confirmation. Shout out to DBS Hype for reporting on this on Twitter. Don't get me wrong, I'm extremely excited with this new update, but it's just so crazy how life works, man. So in our last video on Dragon Ball Super, we went over the initial announcement that we assumed was that Toyotarou was going to be speaking on an original manga he was supposed to be set to be working on at Japan Expo Paris while being interviewed by Dragon Ball's editor. But now, there's been a recent update stating otherwise. According to DBS Hype, who learned of this confirmation from Red Ribbon DBZ over on X, I'll be sure to leave his profile along with DBS Hype and the original tweet down below in the description. Hype's tweet reads, "News, after clarification with Japan Expo, it turns out that Toyotarou is not working on any new manga. The site phrased the panel description terribly. Toyotarou is actually set to talk about Dragon Ball Super's manga with Torishima on July 6th. And it's so funny, after all of the false fake news that's been going around, Japan Expo had to clarify this themselves. This is massive breaking news. And if you guys saw my last video where we addressed the first allegation, I even mentioned that the idea of him even talking about doing a new manga to this capacity at an event like this was really sending the community mixed signals. To me, it didn't really make much sense to do this unless he's under some type of NDA with Shueisha, but thankfully that doesn't seem to be the case. Toyotarou will reportedly be talking about and giving whatever update he's able to on the situation with the Dragon Ball Super manga. Now, this update confirming that this isn't a new original manga is all we have right now, okay? It's really hard to make an educated speculation on much else because this could go a couple of different ways, honestly. Obviously, we all hope that Toyotarou will come out and say that he's already got the entire next arc of Dragon Ball Super done in the manga, or at least planned out, and the manga will come back before the end of the year, hopefully. That's what we all wish. That's the ideal scenario, but there's still no guarantee. We're just gonna have to wait and see. He could also just come out and address what we've all been wondering for so long, which is why he's being held up on continuing the manga in the first place as Toriyama's successor. We understand that the big legal beam clash between Capsule Corp and Shueisha is going on in the background, but we've had manga content since Toriyama's passing, with the whole Clean God one-shot story continuing from early this year. If Toyotarou isn't announcing that the manga is coming back in a new arc, I'm really not too sure what would be the purpose of addressing the manga at this big event in the first place. I got a lot of questions, but this is still the best news that we could hope for right now. Toyotarou could even be delivering news about another one-shot, which at this point, I don't think anyone would complain about. We just need to see something Dragon Ball Super related, and it seems like something like this would still technically be within his power, since this is what we got last time back in February, I think it was, with Goten and Trunks. While it, of course, isn't the introduction of some new big arc like the Black Frieza arc, which is what we're all expecting still, it does still progress the story and keep content in our faces, just not on a regular schedule like we'd like it to go back to. I've even seen people on Twitter saying that Toyotarou could possibly even make mention of Dragon Ball Daima as well, which would actually be really interesting to see. Of course, not saying that he would comment on if or how Daima could potentially tie into the Dragon Ball Super story. I think we've all kind of come to terms with that, at least until something more concrete comes out. But acknowledging Toriyama's last work would still be pretty cool to me, and to hear his thoughts on the series as a whole, and especially Super Saiyan 4. I'm actually pretty interested in that. If he did that, that would be really cool. Another thing that could possibly happen, and this right here is where my complete 100% speculation comes in, so do not take this as me confirming anything at all. This is just wishful thinking from me, but it would be insane if Toyotarou mentioned or hinted at possibly that new movie we were all kind of expecting in the next 2 years or so, in place of the anime returning, since we've kind of I mean, I guess I'll just speak for myself. I kind of given up hope on the anime returning, especially with all the conflict going on in the background. But honestly, that would be the biggest surprise ever. I don't really know what to expect when Toyotarou takes that stage in July, but I'm keeping my expectations low. I think we've all kind of learned at this point. Keep your expectations low. That's the best way to not get disappointed. There's already been so many instances since last year that we thought the manga might return, only to be disappointed. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. July 6th is going to be a big day. We're all going to be watching. As of right now, though, it is confirmed that Toyotarou is set to speak about the Dragon Ball Super manga on July 6th at Japan Expo Paris. So I gotta know what you guys think of this. Thankfully, the original panel translations or descriptions were just bad translations in the first place. Or what exactly did Hype say? The panel description was phrased badly, which is also something I brought up in the last video as well. I completely understand if Toyotarou just wants to work on something, anything, to be honest. So it's absolutely no shade to him if he was actually making an original manga and announcing that he's going to be working on that in the near future. But it is clear after this, confirmation from the Expo themselves that Dragon Ball Super is still his main focus. So that is amazing news to hear, especially for Toriyama's legacy. But I don't want to make this video too extremely long just for one update, guys. This does not need to be like a freaking 20-minute video or whatever. I just wanted to get my initial thoughts and let you guys that were coming into the stream yesterday while we were playing G Squad or Gekishin Squadron, I call it G Squad, and telling me this info because I actually didn't see this tweet at first. I want you guys to know that I am still paying attention to Dragon Ball Super and everything that's going on with that legal battle and the manga, Toyotarou, and just everyone around that situation. And also, just like all of you guys, I am awaiting for the day where the next arc starts. Hopefully it's Black Frieza. Shout out to Toyotarou. No matter what he decides to do, I support him, whether it's Dragon Ball Super, a new original manga, or even finishing Dragon Ball AF, which I would love personally, but that's also wishful thinking. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are expecting to hear from Toyotarou at Japan Expo Paris. Remember, it's July 6th, so expect some kind of news first week of July regarding Dragon Ball Super. What are we all expecting / predicting? Solely Dragon Ball Super news? Maybe alluding to something else and something bigger? The manga possibly being confirmed to return soon, ideally before the end of the year? It could be anything, but I think this is a great lesson to learn that even when you try your best to do your due diligence, you might bite the bullet and miss out on some initial views because you're trying your best to just wait on confirmation on rumors the correct way and not falsely report anything and get everybody riled up. You could do all that and things could come out literally 30 minutes after you finally decide to speak, but that's just how life works sometimes. Anyways though, fellas, that is gonna do it for this one. Like I said, this does not have to be some 20-minute video. Hopefully we do get good news in a couple of weeks and we can just ramble on and on about Dragon Ball Super at that point, because I still got a lot of thoughts to get off. It's been over a year since we've really talked about everything going on with Dragon Ball Super. I got a lot to say, got a lot of thoughts that I've been kind of shooting around with the homies and everything like that. We all got a lot to say. I'm sure you guys do down below in the comments as well. Let me know what we're all expecting to hear from Japan Expo Paris and Toyotarou specifically down below in the comments. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.